Hey y'all, good evening. How are you? Can y'all believe it's almost July? It's basically July. It's literally basically July. And I feel like I keep saying this, but it was just Valentine's, it was just Easter, and now it's almost the middle of the year, basically. How y'all doing? How are you? Talk to me. This is a very informal conversation tonight. I'm not going to be on long. I feel like I say that every week. I want to stick to that tonight. Um, but how are you guys really doing? It's June 24th. This is the final Monday in the month. Next week will be July 1st, I think. How are you doing? How the heck are you? For those of you who do not know who I am and why I'm asking you how you're doing, my name is Shana Etchcom. I go by Shana E. I'm a pricing and positioning strategist. I am a business coach and mentor. I lead Trep Consulting. I love to talk all things business, pricing, positioning, mindset. I really love psychology. I'm also a behavioral economics enthusiast. I'm hoping that I can get my master's degree in that because I think it could be really beneficial in general, especially when it comes to the Bahamas. And so, do things with impact always. And I have worked with so many different organizations, been able to, when I say work with, either I was a contractor or a consultant, I was an employee, I was a facilitator, I was a business coach or mentor, I was a speaker or a guest trainer with various different programs. I'm also an accredited SME consultant, ASMEC. And so I have a business background. I do have a degree in international business and human resources management from the University of Oklahoma. I have studied abroad in the Netherlands. I've studied abroad in China. I love travel. I feel like that's half the reason why I work to make money is so that I can get to one of my happy places, which is now boarding flight blah 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 to blah blah blah, because I love the sound of that. I really do. I really do. So we're just talking tonight. Y'all, why my whole undergarments showing? Sorry about that. We're talking tonight about, the mid-year check-in. What is going on? How are you doing? How is your business doing? So please feel free to tag anyone that you feel needs to join in the conversation or watch on the replay. I don't know how long I'm keeping this up, to be honest, but I will keep it up as long as people feel like it is useful. So I'm just quickly sharing this out before I get started. Now, I don't particularly have a bunch of teachings for you tonight, but I do really want to check in because I feel like we don't have enough conversation, in my opinion, around one, how we're really doing, and that's even in a relational standpoint. I think sometimes we don't have a real conversation with ourselves as entrepreneurs about how our business is really doing, too. And three, I think we need to be more, I don't know why I'm saying so much tonight, but I think we need to be more open to the idea of sometimes you need to pivot. Sometimes you need to pivot. Sometimes you need to pivot not because things aren't working out, because sometimes things could be working out pretty okay, but that particular thing, where that came from, that particular thing that you are doing or were doing, it's just time to go in a different direction. Not that anything is wrong, but maybe you realize or you get told, you get the directive that there's more over here. Cast your net on the other side. What else is there to do? What other work is there for you to do? And it's okay to pivot with no shame, because at the end of the day, if God gives you the directive, it doesn't matter if other people don't understand it. A friend of mine, she posted in her WhatsApp status last week, I think it was, something along the lines of she doesn't understand why broke people go out of their way to prove to other broke people that they're not broke. Now, I say all that to say that sometimes we like to hold in high regard the opinions of people who don't matter, and we're afraid of what would they say. And I can tell you that I've been a person who thought that, right? But that's paralyzing. And I've spoken about this before, because who the heck is the they? There are some of us who we're so focused on the 2, 3, 4, 5 negative voices that we can't hear the other 100 that really should drown them out. So I say to you, if you come to a point where you say, you know what, it's time to do something different, or something has to change, something has to shift, give yourself permission to do that. If you need permission from someone, I'm giving you permission to do that. Do what works for you. Do what you feel directed to do. Do what you feel in your gut or in your instincts you should be doing. Don't worry about what other people are thinking, because unless they are paying your bills or have some other reason, or they are your partner, your life partner, for example, then be respectful, yes. Then, okay, so anything else is noise. It's noise. And at the end of the day, you're the person who has to look yourself in the mirror. You're the person who has to lay in bed by yourself at night or in the morning, and you have to be okay with it. The reality is, and I think we need to be more mindful of this, is time is passing regardless. Time is passing whether or not we seize that moment. Time is passing whether or not we accept the prophetic word. Time is passing whether or not we're obedient. The time is going to pass. Y'all, I just said this is the last Monday of the month. We're about to go into July 1st, which is basically we're at the half year mark. Don't spend another 6 months being held back by what would they think. Don't spend another 6 months lamenting how you thought things should be. If things aren't the way that you feel they should be, you know what? You can still pivot. You can still make changes. And sometimes for some of us, the change is we be patient instead of trying to make things happen. It's like so many times we try to run in front of God like he needs our help. And for those of you, if you're just tuning in for the first time, I do talk about God. Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. I will never hide that. So that will always come into the conversation, because that is what directs me. Okay? Sometimes we think that God needs help, like we need to help him speed up his timeline. Think about that. The creator of time, we stand in his timeline, not the other way around. We have to respect his timeline. He created it, not the other way around. But we try to say, you know what, God, let me help you out. I think you need some help. Let me help jog your memory. Let me help make this thing happen because you're taking too long. Let me see if I could push this along further and faster. And it's really audacious. A couple months ago, maybe 2 months ago, I spoke on having the audacity, right? If you did not watch that, go back in my timeline. I spoke about having the audacity. That's not the kind of audacity that I meant, though. Have the audacity to believe in yourself and have the audacity that it can work out. Don't have any audacity when it comes to trying to help God do what he wants to do for you. Don't have that type of audacity. If you want to see how things work out for people in the Bible who had the audacity to think that they could help God out, go read. And then you come back and tell me most of the time how those things turn out. Wasn't good. Just giving you a little preview. Okay? So in that sense, have a certain type of audacity, but don't be brassy. Okay? Don't get egotistical, don't get pride filled. It is okay to go in a different direction. It is okay to pause that business. It is okay to go get that job. It is okay if you decide, you know what, I need to put this down so that I can focus on some other areas. It is okay to say, you know what, I need to speed up and I need to put more into this particular area, or I need to put more into this business. Maybe I need to pull back from another business. Maybe I need to explore a different part of an idea. Maybe I need to explore a different audience, but I'm still selling the same products or services. Maybe I need to go apply for grant money. Maybe I need to go apply for a business loan. Maybe I need to just do things differently. And so I ask you to ask yourself, do you need to do anything differently in life and in business? Y'all, let me tell y'all something. I am a person who I am usually always doing something. When I say doing something, I mean even strangers over the years have said to me, do you rest? Do you understand that concept? God has been speaking to me about that. My friends have been speaking to me about that. Family has been speaking to me about that. Yesterday, I did nothing. I laid in my bed. I ate, used the bathroom. I watched a little bit of TV, which I rarely do. But Olympic trials track and field is on. So, you know, I want to watch that because I really love sports. I love watching track and field. And I did nothing. And I had a couple thoughts at some point like, oh yeah, I should do this or I should do that. I have deadlines coming up this week. And I said, today's your rest day. Y'all, that's rare for me. Can I tell you? That is rare for me. Because again, I'm usually going from thing to thing. Working to working for hours, right? And I feel like in the last month or a little over, probably a little over a month, maybe more like 6 to 8 weeks, my body and my mind have been telling me, see girl, you have to slow it down. You have to slow it down, or we're going to do it for you, but you have to slow it down. And so I have been doing that. I have been, for example, if I know that I'm going to end up working late, like Monday is usually a later day for me for the different meetings and things that I have. Why am I trying to be up at 8, 9 o'clock working? Because that immediately turns my day into a 14, 15 hour day. So on a Monday, as much as possible now, I say, okay, I could start my day a little bit later. And when I say start my day, I might still wake up early to go work out. I might still wake up early to go on a prayer call, but I'm not waking up early to try to get ready and rush someplace so that I could start sitting at my computer, or I could start doing flowers first thing in the morning. You see what I'm saying? Now, there are some of you, you don't necessarily have that leeway. I don't have children. That's a huge thing. I do not have children. I went to call them little suckers, but they're sweet, they're blessings. I believe that they are blessings, right? They're also crumb snatchers sometimes. I have a nephew, I know. But they take so much time, right? And then your marriage or your relationship, whatever it is, that takes time as well. Those are resource-filled investments. So I say that as someone who, I could start my day later if I want to, right? If I could intentionally not schedule certain things for now before a certain time, because I have that level of control, because I don't have those extra things, right? They're coming, but they're not here now. So be mindful too. Don't listen to me and say, well, Shauna said that. Adjust it according to your schedule and according to your needs. But the reality is, we have to remember that when we do not rest, our bodies will take the rest for us. Whether it comes in the form of illness or breakdown or just not just feeling raggedy all the time. I know about those things. Which side rant, right? If you are over the age of 40 or you are approaching the age of 40 and you are not taking vitamins and you're not eating well or eating properly, I don't know how y'all do it. I highly don't recommend it. Don't recommend it. Mm-mm. Now, I know some people who eat very clean, they eat well, and they maintain, they work out, right? And they don't take supplements, they don't have to. But the regular majority of us who aren't eating really well, who aren't consistently working out, and you're not supplementing, and yes, I'm getting in your business. And you might say, well, Shana, why are you talking about this? This has nothing to do with business. It does, because when you feel raggedy, when you're not mentally sharp, when you don't feel well in your body, which affects you mentally, that affects your business. It affects the level of energy that you can bring to your business. It affects your focus. It affects how much time you can dedicate to your business. And I'm not even talking about your personal life. I'm just talking about your business. Get an annual physical. I need to do mine. Get your annual physical. Make sure that you're good. Make sure that you can address anything that is a deficiency that shows up, right? So that you can start with a clean slate, or at least you know your baseline of where your body is right now. Y'all, these are the things. Our body is an ecosystem. Our body is an ecosystem. That includes your mind, your spirit, your emotions. All of that is ecosystem. They need to run together. They need to work together. Add that into your mid-year check. Do a self-reflection inventory. How am I really? There are a whole lot of us who we can't answer that question, or we're afraid to answer that question. How am I really doing? I came face to face with that about 2 months ago. Yeah. Was it 2 months ago? It was in May. It was in May sometime. How am I really doing? And I had to answer that. And I had to be real with myself. It was confrontational. And that's okay. Because once I realized that and I admitted some things to myself, then it's like, oh, okay. Now I can address those things so that I don't get to that point again. How are you doing mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually? How are you really doing? If you can't afford it, find a therapist. We all need one, right? At different points for various reasons. Find one. It's okay to talk. Let me talk to the men right now for a second. Let me talk to y'all. We like to say that society says men are to hold things inside. Men can't show emotions. Men can't express themselves. Men can't say that they're in pain. In fact, men don't feel pain, right? That's how some of you behave or think, which is not true. A lot of times it is that you have been conditioned to act like it's not there. You've been conditioned to believe that it doesn't matter, even if it is there. You've been conditioned to move from a place of almost being mechanical about going through life. You've been conditioned in certain ways, and this is not all of you, I'm just saying generally, you've been conditioned to, you can accept certain emotions and you can accept that you can only show a certain range of emotions when you're actually experiencing a much wider range of emotions, but you can't exhibit or express the wider range. You can only express what society says is in this little range right here. Except, can I say too that I hear that and my immediate thought is, but aren't you a part of society? Because I have seen men hold other men to this belief of, but you need to hold that inside. You saw Faye. Why are you expressing that? Why are you? So here's the thing, you're a part of society. I'm not saying that as women, we don't need to do better about being safer spaces to contain, to be containers and hold those emotions and deal with those emotions and help you work through the emotions. I'm not saying we don't have a part to play. I'm just saying that to blame society as if society is not male and female, as if society isn't comprised of different parts of which you are included, I think is doing an injustice to you. There are so many men, there are so many of you who you may want something different, but don't know how to get that different. And then what all it does is turn into, you teach your sons and you show your friends the same thing, even though you want something different. We can be a generation, like we talk about Gen Z and Gen X and Alpha and what are we? Millennials. But things change within the generations. It's okay now to admit when you find safe places that you're not okay, that you need help. Again, why am I talking about this in the context of business? Because your mental health affects how you show up. Your mental health affects how your business goes. Your mental health affects how you show up in life in general. There's this book. You know what? No, because I don't remember the contents in the book, and I feel like no, I'm not gonna say that book because I don't remember the exact plot. And I don't want anyone to come for me. So I'm not gonna mention the name of the book. But generally speaking, we need to do a better job of taking care of ourselves mentally. If you can't find a therapist, find one or two good friends or people in your life that you can trust who can know you, who can know your fears, your thoughts, your hopes, your dreams, your struggles, your anxieties, your triumphs, your failures, and all those things in between. Because we are relational beings, that's how we were made, and we were not made to carry burdens ourselves. We are relational. And then of course I would tell you, get closer to God. I mean, you can't ever be too close. You really can't ever be too close. Now, it would be a blessing to be so close to God that you get swept up in Him, because you have come so close to Him. Like Enoch, I was trying to confirm that that was the name. Enoch walked with God so closely that at some point he was walking with God, and then when God left, took him up with him. That's how close he was. He got swept up. All of a sudden, Enoch is not there. Never came back. He got swept up in God. But you can never. That's an amazing thing, actually. That's what we should aspire to. So, I told y'all I wasn't going to be long tonight. This is literally just a mid-year check-in. I want y'all to channel my nephew. For those of you who have very real self-doubt and imposter syndrome and things like that, I talk about my nephew quite a bit, right? That's my baby, my child. And he just turned 13. And he was telling me how, this was when I was with him on his birthday, his actual birthday. And he was telling me how his dad let him drive, right? Now, he didn't really drive, but he did drive. His dad let him control the steering wheel while obviously he was sitting in the passenger seat. But his dad let him control the steering wheel, and he said, Anishana, I drove all the way home. I mean, I was amazing. And I'm only 13. I mean, I think he said I'm a unicorn or I'm so unique, something like that. And I'm sitting there like, okay, village. This one doesn't have low self-esteem. I love that, right? But at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, this is a self-awareness that he has, or this is his own self-perception that he has at the age of 13. And before that, he was telling me about the camp that I took him to that BNT held. And I was asking him about what they learned, and he was explaining to me what they learned. And he was talking about how, you know, he made friends. He made 5 friends that night, and how it's so easy for him to make friends. But he said, you know, it's easy making friends. And I said, no, everyone can't make friends. And he was like, well, it's easy for me. I mean, people like me. And he was just going on and telling me about his abilities. And he said, but you know I'm special. And I said, oh, okay. But I love what he said after this, which is, but everyone's special, right? He knows that everyone is special. He's been taught that. He knows everyone is special. But at the same time, he still has an awareness that everyone is special and I'm special, especially me, I'm special, right? And so I say that to you because I think there are some of you in this latter part of the year, you need to work on having that attitude that you're special. Not that you're above anyone else, but that you are special. That there's something intangible about you that no one else can bring to the table. That there's something about you that is meant for whomever it's meant for. Everyone is not meant for everybody. Even Jesus, though he came and he was sent for everyone, everyone did not accept him. So don't think that everyone needs to accept you. And don't feel rejected if everyone doesn't accept you, because they won't. But the people who are called to you and who you are called to, they're going to accept you. Maybe not immediately, but they will accept you. Now, what do I mean in the case of business? The people who you are called to. Every business, every product and service should have an audience in mind. And y'all, I already spoke about this week before last. Don't ever, and I say this all the time, don't you ever say that you sell to everyone. Don't make me gag. No one sells to everyone. You know what? Everyone has to drink water. But do you know how many water brands there are that exist in the world? So while everyone needs to drink water, everyone doesn't drink Fiji, everyone doesn't drink Dasani, Blue, Pellegrino, Aqua, whatever it is, Palmer, something. That's a good one though. Whatever it is, nobody drinks every single brand. But everyone needs water. I say all that to say, your products and services and you yourself are called to a particular set of people. It's important that you find those people and that those people find you, but accept the fact that you are called. You are called to a certain set of people. You are called to serve a certain set of people. You are called to sell to a certain set of people. Not everybody. And by that, it means that you are special. And you know what? If you never have a business, you're still called to serve a certain people. Because that's what we're here to do on earth. Serve. Serve. We're not here to get rich and die trying. We're not here to consume only. We're not here to lord over anyone. We're not here simply to be millionaires and billionaires so that we can stunt on people. We're here on this earth to serve. Find your place if you're having problems. Find your place. And I promise you, when you find your place and you find the purpose in that, of who you're supposed to be serving and what you're supposed to be serving, that will expose you to a whole different side of life. And be willing to go on that journey if you don't know yet. Be willing to go on the journey. Let me just check the comments as I wrap up, because I feel like I see these things after I get off, and then I have to go back and comment, which is fine as well. So you guys, I am doing a, oh, I do see, okay, I see comments. Yes, a lot of mental health is from sleep deprivation. Y'all, I came to a realization, I think within the last 6 months, before that even, but especially the last 6 months, and this was my revelation, because I got frustrated. I did my annual physical last summer, and then I ended up going to a dietitian, I think late last year or first part of this year, because you could not tell me that something wasn't wrong with me. You couldn't tell me. I was convinced. I was like, my hormones have to be off. I maybe have an insulin resistance problem. Something has to be wrong with me, because there is no reason why, if I'm eating fairly clean and I'm working out consistently, why is the scale not moving? Or why is it barely moving? Like it's creeping down slowly. And then it occurred to me, girl, you don't sleep enough, and you don't sleep properly when you do. So you could, so I could be doing all those other things, but I'm not sleeping enough or properly. So here I am trying to fight against, like I'm handling the 2 out of 3 things, but the third thing is a big thing. It's the sleep, not sleeping enough, or the lack of quality in the sleep. As I said, I'm working on it now. I'm trying, I'm adjusting, I'm reversing. I'm used to being a workhorse. What do people say? I'm entering a new era. And I can't be that. I don't want to be that anymore. And so I literally have to pivot, and I have to make adjustments. And that means saying no more often to myself. That means saying no sometimes to work or opportunities, because sometimes an opportunity ain't really an opportunity. It could appear to be an opportunity, but the stress and everything else that will come with it sometimes is not worth it. It's actually detrimental, even though it appeared to be an opportunity. I think that's all I had to say. Yeah. Do the mid-year tune-up. Do the mid-year talk. Sit down and think about, are you where you want to be? I know I'm not. And why? I know why. I know why for myself. And some things I'm still uncovering the root of them, because everything is rooted in something, right? So the procrastination is rooted in something. The people pleasing is rooted in something. The imposter syndrome is rooted in something. The ability to not show up as our best self is rooted in something. The not wanting to be seen is rooted in something. Not wanting to be heard or use our voice is rooted in something. Not believing that we can is rooted in something. Not believing that it's possible for us but possible for other people is rooted in something. Not believing that God has our best interests at heart is rooted in something. Everything has a root. Everything. Every single thing has a root. You have to get to the root of what it is that's holding you back, because we all have those, right? We may not be plagued by them on a daily basis, but we all have something that we need to get to the root of. Anyway, shameless plug. Shameless plug. I am going to do a live coaching hot seat next week, Monday, July 1st. Now, you know what, actually, let me see. I did say July 1st, but I may need to change it to Tuesday. The reason for that is I'm waiting to get my schedule because I got accepted into an accelerator program. And I need to see, they have not sent out the program schedule yet. Hopefully I get that this week. So I need to make sure that I don't have live sessions that I need to show up for. I don't think so, or they're not going to be often, but I need to confirm that date. So it'll either be next Monday or next Tuesday. This live coaching session will take place on Zoom. This live coaching session will be paid. It will be paid. The first 5 people will get a special discount, but it will be paid. It will be a deep special promo code offer, but it will be paid. This is where I go deeper into your business, your idea. It will be a group coaching session and it will be paid. I keep emphasizing that. It's great. I appreciate you for showing up and joining me every week. I did miss last week. I've missed a few weeks over the last couple of months. But for the most part, we chat every Monday. And I appreciate you for showing up. But I'm also building my email list. And so there are some things that you can only get access to when you join the list. So go to the website and sign up for Vault Access 1, 2. You'll be one of the first set of people to get the notification that I am putting the Q&A live coaching hot seat out there, and you can be one of the first 5 people to qualify for the special promo code. You all know I don't believe in doing discounts, but I do make exceptions. This is my business. I can do that, as you can do in yours, okay? So I am dropping the link in the comments. I am dropping it right now in the comments so that you guys can sign up, so that you don't miss the opportunity. Because the reality is that we should not be beholden to social media. Because any day, Mark, Elon, whoever, because we don't know who owns TikTok, maybe we do, I don't remember, they can decide that they're going to shut your page down. They can decide that they're going to hit you with a violation. They can decide to shut your ad account down so you can't run ads. That's happened to people. They can decide to shut your page down. And if this is the only place that you have access to your people, then that's a problem for you. So I'm building my email list. I encourage you to do the same. I should have been doing this years ago. And it's not like I haven't helped other people build their list. It's just, it wasn't a priority for me. I'll be very honest. Now it is. So there is a point where to get conversations like this and the meaty, actionable step conversations, you may need to be on the list. Instead of me constantly going live here on open Facebook, you may need to join a list to get access. I'm just letting you know. Prepare yourself, okay? Just use an email address, one that you check, and then join the list on trepconsulting.com. So I will see you guys next week. I will see you in the hot seat class again. First 5 people will get access. Now you might say, what is the hot seat? What is the live Q&A session? This is going to be where we focus. You can ask me questions specific to you. Questions specific to you and your business on pricing, mindset, marketing, positioning, strategy. Those 5 things: pricing, mindset, marketing, positioning, strategy. You can ask me anything along those lines, right? And business fundamentals. Normally, no, let me not say my prices off the top of my head because I don't remember. But normally it will cost about 3 times the amount to work with me on a one-on-one, right? And so if that is out of your budget, you can do the group coaching Q&A with me. Next week, I will send out the date. I will post the flyer. I will send it out to you guys just so that you can be aware and you can be one of the first 5 people to sign up for the special promo code. Okay? Now I wanted to have that ready for you tonight to drop, except that me and PayPal seem to be vibing, so I have to figure out something before I can accept the payments, okay? But hopefully I'll be able to resolve that by tomorrow evening, and then I can post the link. So thank you guys. I'm gonna hop off and go into my next meeting, but I appreciate you. You could have been doing anything else in the world, but you decided to spend some time with me, and for that I am always grateful. I am Shana E. I hope you have an amazing week, and I hope you get to set aside time so that you can do your mid-year review. And if you want to tell me how it goes, slide in my DM. Send me a message. If you have my WhatsApp number, send me a message on Facebook, whether it's private or business page. Send me a message. You could send me an email. You can write it on my wall, whatever it is. I'd be happy to hear from you. Until next time, peace.